Wonder Woman 3 has been cancelled, and it looks like the end of the Snyder-verse. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. James Gunn and Peter Safran, in a meeting recently with Patty Jenkins, announced that Wonder Woman 3 was not going to happen in its current form. Now, apparently Patty Jenkins had gone as far as the script and setting up a lot of the early pre-development work. It was when she was presenting this that James Gunn and Peter Safran, along with Pam Abdy and Michael DeLuca, made the decision and announced it to Patty that Wonder Woman 3 would not be going ahead. Now, this has come with a lot of rumours going around about how the DC were going to redirect their current plans with the DC, now that James Gunn and Peter Safran are in charge. Now, initially, it looked like Black Adam was actually going to do very well at the box office, but it didn't. And then Henry Cavill appearing in Black Adam reignited a lot of excitement that we're going to get to see the Man of Steel 2 or some other iteration of Superman with him in the part. Now, there's been a couple of interviews since that have cast a little bit of doubt on that assumption, and I've heard some rumours coming from Warner Brothers as well. Now, it does seem that initially there was a lot of excitement around picking and cherry picking from the Snyder-verse. They were going to bring back Henry Cavill as Superman because they liked that character. Gal Gadot was going to get a Wonder Woman movie, even though it was going to maybe need a rewrite. That looks like that's now been cancelled. There was even a rumor that Ben Affleck could return as Batman, but in a much darker version of that character, a version of Batman that Ben Affleck desperately wanted to do in the first place. Now, there was this idea that they could continue with the Snyder-verse or the DC universe that has been established, but they would cherry pick the best bits and forget the bad bits. Now, I'm being told that there are very serious conversations going on right now within the DC, that James Gunn and Peter Safran are seriously considering scrapping everything that happened previously. So everything that happened within the Snyder universe will be erased. They will simply put a bow on it and forget it happened. So this would kind of make sense in lots of ways. The Batman with Robert Pattinson did pretty well. And we're looking at a TV series to follow that up with a Penguin, and almost certainly going to be getting a sequel of that. There could also be other spin-offs from that. There are increasing rumours that actually Batman Beyond is going to get produced, and that will be a live-action, very gritty, very hardcore movie. There are lots of conversations that actually they want to take the DC down a very dark, very grown-up adult path, that they look at things like Deadpool and decide that actually these movies don't have to be 12As anymore. We can make a movie that's an 18 or a 15, and that we can actually make the movie we all want to see. Particularly with the character of Batman, that to me only makes sense. You shouldn't make a Batman movie that's a 12A. That character is a very violent. The whole point of it that it's dark and gritty. If you make that movie into a pig in children's movie, like they did with a couple of the previous Batmans, George Clooney, I'm looking at you, then it really takes away from the point of the character. He's supposed to be a vigilante. He's supposed to be violent. The Christian Bale version of the Batman is the prime example of that. So what does this mean for the DC moving forwards? Now, there is obviously a very large financial issue going on at Warner Brothers. They are in significant debt, and they are trying to consolidate lots of their IP and really trying to reorganize a lot of their business so that they can stop hemorrhaging money. Their CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, has so far been doing a pretty bloody good job. He has made a significant effort towards cutting off as much of the fat as possible, and he's moving forwards with the projects that he thinks will make money. Now, this is coming off the back of some significant failures for the DC. The original Justice League movie lost lots of money. The Zack Snyder cut didn't really make any of it back. 1984 Wonder Woman was a massive failure. Black Adam didn't do as well as hoped, and obviously Batgirl got cut before we even got to see it. But who knows? Some of these changes could be a good thing. Peter Safran and James Gunn really do seem to have a good take on where they want to take the DC, and that isn't going to involve a lot of what's come previously. It does mean we're not going to see Jason Momoa as Aquaman again, which is a shame. And honestly, if Aquaman 2 doesn't do very well at the box office, I think that will really be the final nail in the coffin of what we call the Snyder-verse. There are rumors, actually, that Jason Momoa is already lining up to come back as a completely different character within the DC. But those currently are only rumors. But it really would show that Snyder-verse was over and that Aquaman was over. I've always said Aquaman, if you actually look at it as a movie, isn't very good. It's just that Jason Momoa as Aquaman is fantastic, and it made up for the shortcomings of the movie. It's a shame we never got to see Ben Affleck, personally an actor I really like, in a Batman role that he wanted to do, that he was pushing for, a really dark, gritty version of the Batman. But I liked Robert Pattinson's take on it. Even though that movie was way too damn long, it was actually a really good film. I want to see a director's cut that's shorter for once, but other than that, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with the Penguin, and then looking forward to what they're going to do with the Batman 2. And if Batman Beyond gets made the way that I hope it does, wow, that'll be amazing. So Warner Brothers are going to continue with the animated DC movies, and to be honest, they've been doing a brilliant job with those. But it does look like there's going to be a complete reset on the DC universe moving forwards, and that we are not going to be getting Henry Cavill as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, or all of these other characters. Now, I suspect these decisions are still up in the air slightly, but really, if The Flash doesn't do very well or Aquaman 2 doesn't do very well, that really will be the last time we see these characters for a little while. But guys, tell me what you think. What do you think about these decisions? Do you actually think putting a lid on the Snyderverse is a good idea? Do you think we should just move on from that and try to forget it ever happened? Or would you like to see some of these characters return? Get in the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. It really helps us out. And as always, if you enjoy the content and you want to become a fully fledged SciTrekker, please consider hitting the join button. Please stay safe. I'll see you next time.